Hi, and welcome to Jules Voto's Photo Focus. This video is the third installment of my series, Vintage Lens, Modern Camera. The lens featured in this video is the Canon 50mm 1.4 new FD. And I use this lens on the Nikon Z6 mirrorless camera using the Photossi FD to Nikon Z adapter. Let's just mount this on the adapter so you can see. Match the red dot to the red dot, and then you twist the lock on the adapter to open. All right, and as you turn the aperture ring, the lens stops down. One of the many great things about mirrorless cameras is the ability to adapt most manual focus lenses to them. Because of the ability to zoom into the image and in addition, the option of focus peaking, it's easier to focus manual focus lenses on mirrorless cameras than it is on DSLRs, and even easier, I think, than on the cameras these lenses were originally designed for, 35mm film cameras. Now, this Canon lens was introduced in 1979, and as 1.4s go, it's lighter than most. It weighs in at 8.3 ounces or 235 grams. It focuses down to 1.5 feet. It has 7 elements in 6 groups, 8 aperture blades, and it takes 52mm filters. I think I paid $120 for this lens several years ago, and it is in mint condition. Now, a while back, I published a video comparing this lens to 3 other manual focus 50mm 1.4 lenses, and I determined the Canon was the sharpest of the 4, especially at 1.4. I put a link in the description below to that video. And at this point, if you like videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, so why don't we look at some pictures? One of the great features of digital cameras is that they record all your settings to something called an EXIF or metadata file. That file is attached to each image, so you could look back and see what your aperture was, what your shutter speed, your ISO. However, when using manual focus lenses that don't have a CPU, you don't get all that information. You get most of it, but you must manually, in the camera, in the non-CPU image data, set the focal length and the maximum aperture of the lens. But as you shoot, it will not record the actual aperture that you're shooting. It will just show you the maximum aperture. But one of the nice features of the Nikon Z6 and other cameras is that they allow you to record a voice memo after shooting each image. So you shoot the image, you review it on the back of the camera, and then you could record a voice memo, in which case, if it's the thing that you're most interested in when testing equipment is the aperture, you could just say this was shot at 2.8 or 5.6, whatever aperture you shot at. Now, the first 2 pictures you saw here, this one that's up now, which was taken outdoors, and the other one that was indoors of a picture on the wall, I didn't record a voice memo, so I'm not sure what aperture I shot them at. But this one was shot at 1.4 on the boardwalk late at night after a storm, so most of the people had left. And the focus was on this first building here on the right. Next, we have an image of my son and his girlfriend. We had went out to dinner at a waterfront restaurant, and this was shot at 5.6. And there's not enough depth of field here to keep everyone sharp, but I don't know, I kind of like it. This next image coming up, I converted to black and white, and it's my son's girlfriend shot at 1.4. And I just love this lens at 1.4. It's very sharp. The bokeh is good. It's a little busy here in this particular image, however. This next shot of my son and his girlfriend was shot, was heavily backlit, but you'll notice there's really no flare in this image. It's very sharp. I just had a very small lens hood on, and this was shot at 5.6. So then we were waiting for a while to be seated, and there was a flower next to a bench, and I just went in close with the 50. I think I was at the minimum distance, which is 1.5 feet, and this was shot at f2. Not much is sharp, but I don't know, I kind of like the way it looks. Now, once we were seated, I started to take some more pictures from the table, and a lot of the rest of these are taken from our table, and this was my other son at 5.6. And then the drinks came, and this one was at 1.4. The focus is just on that orange slice. And this one of a different drink, but same thing, 1.4. Focus again on the orange slice. And then I decided to try one at 5.6, so you could see a little bit more sharpness here. Actually a little bit more depth of field. So I just shot a bunch of pictures seated. The sun was, getting ready to set, and the light was dropping. This one was shot at 5.6, and I didn't get up to move around. Just that some boats were coming in to dock for the night, and I just kept shooting before dinner was served. And I really like working with a fixed focal length lens, a prime lens, and this one was actually at 1.4 as it was getting darker. But I like working, I've said this before in other videos, I like sometimes just going out with one lens, and this Canon 50 1.4 FD is excellent, and I really enjoyed shooting with it. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I publish a new video every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Now, I haven't decided what the next installment of Vintage Lens Modern Camera will be, so tune in the third Wednesday of each month, and it'll be a surprise. I will talk to you next time.